for, there's actually a whole lot going on with it in terms of a speedrun perspective. So what we're going to do is show off a few of those things. In this game, Batman has a few things as utility. He can throw you batarangs, which in Mania really aren't all that great. He's got this zip line, which is good for movement, but you don't use it all that often. But the real thing you want to utilize is this punch string. You can cancel it by pressing the block button, and it just keeps enemies in permanent stun lock. We're also going to batarang these bikers, because apparently you can kill motorcycles with a batarang, which is always fun. Dropped it on that guy. No big deal. Gonna take out this guy too. Let this biker roll by. We've got some pattern manipulation coming up here. We're gonna have this guy scroll down here. Got him hit. Got some pattern movement here. Got a pretty bad pattern from the rocket guy, but not a huge deal. We'll take him out. Easy manipulation here. You can just get him in there like that. Finish off this guy with a string. We're going to move forward. The one thing you'll be seeing me do a lot early is utilizing batarangs because they cause stun. They don't do damage, but they stun enemies in place to get hit by your combo. Be doing a whole lot of this. Got nailed. Oh well. Go ahead and get down here. Break these guys apart. He's the most threatening because he has a projectile weapon. Got this other guy coming in here. And here you're about to see some pretty awesome interaction in this game. You get to interact with the background by slamming them into the window like that. We're going to test tube these guys away, which kills everything on the screen. You only get 3 per level. Some levels give you the option of picking up more. We're going to go ahead and take out this guy. Then another guy here to spawn. And here in this section, you actually want to knock over the mailbox on the far right, because that actually causes the second fat guy to spawn there. We're going to go ahead and drop this other test tube. Try and get a double kill on these guys with Extra Joy. We got it. That's actually a frame-perfect trick. So we're going to move on to the next section here, which is going to move us into the boss. Anyone who's seen this section, just move right. It's actually just that simple. You can only get hit by a little bit of bad RNG about halfway through this particular room. But for the most part, just move right. Oh, and hey, we got good RNG. We didn't have anybody jump on us. We're just going to keep moving, ignoring all these clowns that are trying to punch us and throw torches. And why even bother? Where we've got this guy with a scene from the movie. He gets a grappling hook to the back of the head. Takes a bunch of batarangs. Drop the bomb. That's going to finish him off. Move on over here to Miss Selena Kyle. Have a quick conversation with her about, why she was wandering through Gotham in the middle of the night. And unfortunately, to conserve time, we are going to go ahead and skip through these cutscenes between levels. Move on to the next one. This level is somewhat of a repeat of the first level, but you've got a bit more technical whatnot going on. So we're going to walk over here, kick these garbage cans for spawn points. These guys are not cooperating at all. Sometimes they just want to shift away from you. Sometimes they want to hit you. Alright, we're going to get this guy set up over here. Didn't work. A little bit off on the timing. No problem, though. Slam him up against the wall. Moving on here. Drop this guy over here. We're not even going to bother with the bomb. Reason we don't bother with that, the bombs actually don't do enough damage to the enemies in Mania to make it just where it's basically obsolete to be able to do it. We're actually almost dead here. This is pretty unfortunate. We may actually have to take a death in this level, which if we do, it happens. We didn't get that guy. 2 hits. We're gonna see a lot more punch string here. It's basically gonna be the bread and butter of most of these levels. Take it up here. Lots more Batman punching dudes. This section's gonna be a little squeamish. We've got bombs. Slam that guy into the park bench. Shoutouts to that guy for being smart enough to get out of the way, because that guy was coming in really fast. Drop this guy on his head. Drop this guy on his head. We're gonna try and drop this guy into the motorcycle. There we go. We can finish him off on his wake up. Probably my favorite swag kill in the game, just choke slamming a guy onto a bike for the finish. We're gonna drag this guy over here. So we get some grouping. Now, normally there'd be a damage boost I could use here, but with this being where it is, unfortunately, the damage boost will kill me. It took a little bit too much damage there, so we're going to dodge that. Dodge this guy. Yeah, I figure we're going to get a third guy there. Got hit on the way up. Okay, so now we have a full life to work with. Not even really mad about that death, because I wanted to show this off. You actually want to just zip up past these guys so they don't catch up with you. Because why give them your autograph? All they want to do is hound you for it. Alright, we're going to show off some damage boosts here. Zip right through these guys. Right past here on the way to these fiery blocks. Take one damage boost. All the way over to this guy. We're just going to crouch here until the floor gives way, and then we can move on about our day. Jump out the window, which you don't have to. I just do it because it looks appropriate. We're going to go ahead and drop a batarang on this guy who's trying to swallow a sword. Got a good enemy pattern there. That's good. This guy's going to come in and do nothing. Got another sword guy over here. The sword guys are going to be easily the most annoying enemies we encounter. They can do basically anything they want to you in terms of combat. It's pretty miserable. Alright, we're going to sit tight. Drop a bomb. Zip over to this guy. Punch string him into oblivion. We're going to have a lot of combat coming through here. This guy might hold it or he might throw it. Looks like he's going to hold it. Alright, extra joy to get rid of the bomb. It's the most consistent way to get that bomb out of your face. Throw some guys and some other guys. Get that distraction out of the way. Do some noggin knocking. Noggin knocking is not to be underestimated in this game. Took a death. Got a little bit of frame hits there. You generally expect to die in Mania. I have actually yet to still have a deathless run on this difficulty. It's just that brutal. But deaths don't hurt too bad in this game. You lose some time, of course, but you get to respawn right where you were. We're going to chill out on these guys here. Let them get hit by this minefield. These are some patterns I've not seen before. Take out this guy. Let these guys come in. Got one more small section of enemies. I'm going to drop a test tube on these guys because they're separated. And these guys you can just chain at once. And now you're going to see how the punch string really starts to get silly. Instead of doing a 3-punch cancel, you do a 1-punch cancel, and bosses just can't get out of it. That's going to do it for old Strongman here. Zip around a little bit because it's fun. That's going to complete that level. Pretty harsh level. Got a couple deaths I wish I hadn't seen, but we got a good boss fight out of it, so I can't really complain. We're going to move on to stage 3. This stage is actually a bit more out of the norm. We go back to the side-scrolling levels where all you can do is throw batarangs. So not a whole lot going on. But there is one really funny thing you're going to get to see. Now for the fat guys, when they pop out of the window, they're going to take a swing at Batman, walk forward, and jump to their doom. I don't know why they do that, but discovered it by mistake, thought it was really funny, and decided to just keep doing it. It actually turns out it's a really good strat, because it prevents other enemies from spawning later. See if we can get here out of this section. We're going to have some more guys jump to their doom. Now the purple guys won't do that. They'll just swing at you ad nauseum, so you have to take them out. Knock this guy away. A couple more. That's going to get us to the top. For this one, this is just actually just a platforming section. Move to the right, you can ignore the purple clown. Let this break away. I generally want to jump onto the next ledges up because it moves you forward a little bit. Zip all the way across here. This does look silly, very Bionic Commando. That's unfortunate that guy showed up. That means we did get a tall clown. You actually want that tall clown there. If you delay it, you can actually make sure that you can just move right past the torches and not have to worry about it. And for this section, it gets a little silly, so we're going to do a bat dance, because the bat dance is silly. Everybody, if you can, do the bat dance. Just to prevent any spawn points, we're going to go ahead and kill everything before the bombs show up. Now, the bombs are the cue. We're going to get 2 enemies here. The 2 green clowns is the most common pattern. After they fire their rockets, you drop a test tube. That prevents another thin clown from spawning, and you just move on. We're going to go all the way to the end here to fight Catwoman, who, don't get confused, is one of the hardest bosses in the game. She's one of the two that actually will have an invincible move if she can break out of the punch string, so let's hope we don't break it. So let's go. Looks like he's not even punching her, he's just punching air. Alright, cool. Got full combo on Catwoman, that's always a great time. She's going to do her little cutscene where she's going to move over to the edge, backflip over, and we just move on. Now, here's where the game starts to get really out of control. The first section of Stage 4 is extremely RNG heavy. You've got 2 different enemies that'll pop down here. They both look the same. They're both purple thin clowns, but they have different health totals. If they come out from the ceiling, they die in 2 punches. If they come out from the side, it takes 6 hits. So you kind of have to vary up strat just based on how they appear. Fat clowns you can take out just by doing a noggin knocker. It's the best way to deal with them. They also appear in random intervals. But you can't have more than 3 enemies on the screen at a time. So that's how you keep track of everything. Same over here. We got some cartwheelers. We got some fat ones. Noggin knocker these 2 guys together. Alright. Move on to the next one. This one's a bit more pattern heavy. There's no randomness to the enemies. We're going to boomerang this guy down. Boomerang. Look at me. Batarang. Throw him into the wall. Oh, he got us first. Okay. That's fine. Come here, you. Alright, we're going to have some test tube usage here. These guys have entirely too much health, so I always go for the test tubes here. Those guys have little health. We're going to take out these next 3 guys with another test tube. Break down that guy right there. You always want to get in before he can get his damage in. It's huge. We're going to go for a setup here. Got him. They always wake up into the fists. Move on. And back onto Catwoman. This is going to be pretty much exactly the same fight as before. She's just a little bit easier because she doesn't have anything invincible. Just going to rope it up with these lefts. Show them how they taught us in the League of Assassins. Just keep throwing that left hand. There is one other strat we have, though. We're going to throw her to the left side. Reason we do that is because when she gets up and walks over to the Ice Princess, she walks really, really slowly. So if you knock her over to the right side, she's going to take forever. We're past that now. Now on to the hardest boss in the game. First penguin fight. Reason it's hard, we only have batarangs with which to go on offense. Can't punch him, so no punch string. It's actually pretty miserable because he flies around like an idiot. His body's hitbox does an insane amount of damage. And the umbrellas he drops are just so constant that we're almost always going to take a death. Deaths, however, here aren't that bad because they give you iframes, so you get to use it as a damage boost. That sucks. Hit these guys. He's going to come in really fast here, so we're going to throw a test tube. Defensible through that. Probably taking another death here, but we may not. Oh, sweet, we got there. Okay. I was really hoping not to take another death, but anything he hit us with would have killed us. He just does that much damage. Yeah. Very, very difficult fight. I still have never done that fight without a death, but I also don't mind taking a death in the fight because of the iframes you get from a death. Moving on to this level, which this is probably the least popular level for the game and it's for good reason. It's a mode 7 level. It's driving. You're not really doing anything except firing these discs. And in Mania, it's even more difficult because essentially everything has entirely too many hit points, so you just don't get to kill anything. And also, any rockets that get fired at you just have really, really good tracking, so they're almost always going to hit you. For those sections, you can just stay right in the middle of the road and avoid everything. These guys are going to be a problem. Move on. Throw in all these hits on these jerks. Sometimes you can get hits in, but generally tend not to. This part's really aggravating because they can shoot up to 3 rockets at a time, and that's really, really difficult to avoid. Let's move them on out. Another section of these guys. We can just let them pass by, though. I'm just doing my rhythmic mashing just to pass time. These guys just have way too much health, but they're pretty easy to avoid. Just let them fire a rocket and move to the right. They clearly want to get it out of their system, but they have too much health for you to kill, and they don't stick around long enough. They reach a point where they despawn. We're only out for, I want to say, like 7 or 8 seconds. It's not that long. Gonna keep moving. I will say one thing I do like about this level is the graphics. That background of Gotham City just looks so cool. So Mode 7 got us that, at least. But unfortunately, we had to get this really crappy level in addition to that. It's just a fairly meh auto-scroller. Took some hits there. That's unfortunate. This guy's going to fire rockets at us while motorcycles are oncoming. This is really bad. Okay. Alright, we got through that at least. We got a couple more green health guys who are going to be annoying, but we can pretty much avoid all their shots. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. Dit. These are just extra points. Doesn't really amount to anything except extra lives. Now we have the boss, has the greatest name ever, the Campaign Van. Essentially, you just kind of want to volley him with hits. You hit him more than he hits you. Problem is, his rockets will still home in on you just like the rest did, so they're going to deal a lot of damage in a very short amount of time. Especially at the end, when that's pretty much all he's going to do is just fire rockets at us. Ugh, took a hit there. There's a chance we might die. We'll lose a bit of time, but it won't be that big of a deal. We got some caltrops, that's cool. Should be able to finish them off here in a few more hits. There we go. Okay. Now that scumbag's out of the way, we get to go deal with crime elsewhere in Gotham. Let's be real, if the Batmobile was in Twisted Metal, it would win every time. Now the Penguin botches his Mario campaign. And this is probably the only part of the game that I don't remember from the movie. I don't remember much about a train. But it's a hard level, so we're going to go through it. We're going to start off with these fat guys. Drop a test tube. Too much health. Drop another test tube because too much health. We did that so we can group these guys. Oh, we didn't get it. It's fine, though. Bet you won't keep laughing. Okay. We got some bad grouping there, but should be fine. Fat Clown's gonna come back. We're gonna take him out. Alright. Oh, yeah, one more guy. Easily dealt with. You don't want to walk those guys over to the bomb like you do on lower difficulties, because it doesn't deal that much damage. We're gonna go ahead and throw the batarangs for safety, though. Pro tip, if you hang out at the very top plane of the train, those bombs that the motorcyclist is throwing will not hit you. Oh, I didn't kill him? That's unfortunate. Alright. Like, they will actually not touch you. That sucked. Jeez, the cheapness. One more guy here. Just got a Fire Clown. Hit him 3 times, grab, hit, and choke slam for the victory. Might even say he's broken in half. Oh, the other guy cartwheeled away. It's unfortunate. We might end up taking a death here. Especially if we keep getting hit. But here for this section, all you're really going to do is make sure the poles are just going to do the dirty work for you. We can even iframe through the poles by doing a choke slam. Okay. Okay, so we got the frame perfect wake up hit there. That was cool. We can basically die from anything at this point, so let's just hope that doesn't happen. We're gonna go ahead and drop a test tube and hope for the best. I usually wait for the second ones to do that, but nah. We took a knife, no big deal. group these guys together. The knife guys are also extremely annoying in terms of just gameplay. They, anytime they do a stab motion, they're completely invincible and you can't hit them. Pretty obnoxious. That'll bring the train to a conclusion. We got a full health, and now we get to fight the organ grinder, who's a little bit different than some of the other beat-em-up style bosses because he's flanked by a bunch of enemies. But if you stand in this sweet spot right below that line, you'll be able to just vortex them all into your punches for the string. Maintain your timing. Hit him, I think it's 64 hits to beat this guy. And you really don't want this guy running amok either. When he runs around with that little box there, it's basically a machine gun in disguise, and it does a ton of damage. The bullets even do a ton on, like, chip. So if he's running around like a crazy person, there's really not a whole lot you could do. Alright, this will bring us to the final stage, which is essentially just chaos incarnate. Everything you've had to deal with in this game is in this level. Got pretty lucky there. Took the bomb with him. Oh, that's unfortunate. That guy snuck up on us. Boys. Bit of a standard second section here. Just rockets and bikes. Just move your way around. Let them spawn. Let them do their thing. Oh, wow. You can be hit out of that? Okay. Learned something new today. I'm gonna let that guy just... there, it makes me up like crazy right now. We should be fine, though. At least we got one of them out of the way. God, they fire rockets so fast in this difficulty. Throw that guy into that. Wow, he beat me to that? Oh, this game is silly. Sometimes you can hit him just in time to get hit by the bike, which is great. Didn't happen that time, but that's okay. We're just gonna grab combo this guy to death. No big deal. Got some jerks coming in on cartwheels. If that wasn't difficult enough for you, this is where the stage starts getting really stupid. When you start factoring in rockets that zoom in on you. Like, these are zeroing in on me right now. There's no set pattern to them. They don't act randomly, they just come towards you. And they're really annoying to have to deal with. All three of these sections are going to have one more cartwheeler at the very end, so we're always going to be at the very left side to close it out. Ah, caught me out of air. Oh well. That took a lot out of me. Punch String is your friend here. Naga Knocker's even more your friend. That guy's so terrible. He can get... He's fast enough to just be able to get out of that. Naga Knocker this guy. These guys. I don't think so, sir. Probably a good chance we're taking another death here, especially from this guy. Yep. I'll actually take that. Don't want to fight those guys with not full health. Jumped right in my vortex. Thought we were going to land on one there. We're going to zip around a little bit. As I mentioned, Choke Slam gives you iframes, which is why we did that there. Take that guy. Brought him over here. I'll kill both of them. Sweet. Guy tried to go in for a splash. We weren't having it. Yeah, they're just going to be really, really aggressive, and it's just something you have to deal with. Yep, that happens sometimes. We're going to drop this guy so we can get him on the wake up. One more guy. Take this guy out. One more section of rockets, and then we're just going to go ahead and test tube the heck out of everything. We're going to drop like 4 of them here in a row, because why deal with any other enemies? There's just too much of a huge gauntlet here that I'd rather just go ahead and just blow the place to smithereens. Alright, last 2 bosses. Here we've got the big old duck, which we can only hit with batarangs. Very annoying fight. It does this raise lower mechanic like crazy. gonna walk to the other side. Didn't get as many hits in as I would have liked. No big deal. Okay, we got him. Now we're gonna move on to the final boss, which would be the penguin. This is actually a really, really difficult fight normally, but we're gonna be able to grab him, put him down, and punch him to death. We'll ask for serious time here, bear with me. That's gonna finish it. Stand over my foe's dead body. And time's gonna be at the last cutscene. Time. Alright. 25:44 is a solid time. Been getting 24s these days, but with all the deaths I had and some of the mistakes that came up and some of the new patterns that I saw, meh. I'll let you guys go ahead and have a look through the ending, because the ending is actually worth sitting through on this game. Thanks for the GGs, everybody. Shoutouts to Frank Reynolds. That's going to be Batman Returns. I have been given the go-ahead to go ahead and leave it open until the end credits are over. Because I'll be honest, the final curtain at the end of the credits is the whole reason to play the game on Mania. It's just so cool. Yeah, this was actually my one of my first games that I decided to speedrun, and my first world record, and it's gonna hold near and dear to me for forever. It's just such a good game. Presented by Konami, one of their true gems on this system that not enough people talk about. And here we have the whole reason to see it. We get to move on from the presentation to Blue-Eyed Keaton for the true Dark Knight. Such a great ending picture there. Alright guys, hope you guys enjoyed Batman Returns. More than happy to answer questions from anyone that even just wants to play it casually, because it is a hard game. But I'm glad you all enjoyed it, and thanks for watching. Moving on to the next one here in just a moment.